Honey, there is nothing worse than a preschool teacher contemplating her life every day. I've been there. I've been in this game for 20 years and I have seen some stuff, okay? But what I do know is that there has been many times in my classroom that I have contemplated being the teacher in here. I have always loved kids. I've always connected with children, but there have been moments when I worked as a preschool teacher and I've said to myself, is this really what I want to do? Did I really sign up for that? But when I tried to go do something else, girl, I could not. Like, I just could not connect with being a retail person. I could not connect with working at Whataburger. I literally worked at Whataburger for about a month and was like, bye. Y'all have a good one. I was not doing that. But I knew that honestly, what was going on was I was suffering from a burnout. At that point in time, I had been a pre K teacher for about 5 years. I enjoyed my kids, I loved the classroom, but I was really wanting more. And back then, when I started 20 years ago, there was no support in the classrooms. Like, directors were not coming in to help the teachers do the things that they needed to do, learn the things that they needed to learn, give us the hands-on experiences. Maybe they were not coming in the classroom to do that. So there was really no classroom support. There was really no one in there to show you the ropes. You kind of had to do all the things on your own, figure out the lesson plans, look over the lessons, right? Teach your own self the curriculum. Learn how to be the absolute best teacher that you can be on your own, because like I said, back then there was no support. Girl, we was not getting any support. You're going to get in this classroom and you were going to sink or swim. That was the gist of it. And so the unfortunate thing was, I contemplated life. By my 5th year, I was just like, oh, I don't know what the heck this is, but I don't think I'm cut out for this. I don't think this is what I want to do. And so the more I started to experience other jobs and other things, I then said, you know what? I really can't imagine my life doing anything else other than loving on these kids every day. So my journey started when I was about 5 years old. I was in my grandma's house in Texas. It was a small little, back then it was a small little house. Maybe I remember it being 2 bedrooms, a living room, a bathroom, and a kitchen, right? So very small space. But my grandma was helping my mom raise me. And so back then, we all kind of crowded into this space. My cousins would come over. And so we were in this space with at my grandma's house. And in one of the back rooms, she allowed us to play back there. So I was always the teacher and my cousins were always the students. And so that is how I found my passion and my joy for teaching, children. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And so I locked in on it and got really serious about it as I grew up. So I grew up and, I remembered that back then I loved playing teacher. I loved playing all things teacher. I was going to be your teacher. You were going to sit down. You were going to listen to me. So I ended up graduating high school and was trying to find my life, figure out what I wanted to do. And so childcare came about, and my 6th grade teacher ended up hiring me for my first childcare job because she had a childcare center. And so I got my start there. And so baby, for the first 5 to 7 years, I was enjoying myself. I really loved what I was doing. I was, on this wave of teaching and doing all the things. And then after that 7th year, that fifth to 7th year, I kind of got to a place where I was like, okay, what am I doing? Like, what is happening here? I don't know if this is what I want to do. And so I started kind of dibbling and dabbling in retail and, working at stores here, working at stores there, and I hated it. I also did like a little bit of call center customer service, hated it, and knew right then and there that I had made the biggest mistake of my life by switching up and going into something else. And teaching was my calling. It's what God had given me. I mean, it started when I was 5, like I said. And so after I made the conscious decision to go ahead and go back into teaching, I fell in love with it again. I'm recording this video because I feel like there is someone out there who's trying to figure out if this is what you want to do, if this is what you were born to do, or if this is just something that you are doing. But I have some questions that I want you to ask yourself because I really want you to connect with yourself. Figure out what it is that you want to do. Figure out, if teaching is what you want to do, if maybe you want to go into the administrative part of childcare, there's so many pieces to the puzzle that you can fit in. Don't try to fit yourself in this specific box. But I do want you to know this. I've suffered from teacher burnout. I know what that looked like. Baby, I've been there a time of two. But what I do know is that you have to ask yourself these questions because you got to figure out if this is a passion, if this is what God has given you, if you were created to do this, or if this is just something that you are doing. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself is, do I even like being a preschool teacher? Like, is that something you like to do, or is that something somebody told you you should do? You have to like what you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's preschool teacher, if it's something else. You got to like it because you going to have to do it every day, right? You're going to have to connect with it every single day. And being a preschool teacher is not a hard thing, but it is a very connective thing. You have to be connected to being the teacher every day. You can't let the kids run the classroom. Your job is to stay connected to that classroom and all the little things and or people that is in it. And so ask yourself, am I okay with being a preschool teacher? Like, is this my jam? Is this really what I want to do? The next thing you need to be asking yourself is, does it give me great joy to even get up in the morning to go meet my little people? Am I excited to see Jacob, Sarah, John, and Sue? Do they bring me great joy? Even when I don't feel like getting up, am I still excited to get into that space with your students? Are you excited about it? That's question number 2. Does it bring you great joy? And then the last question I want you to ask yourself is, could you do this for a long period of time? Is this something that you could see yourself doing for a long time? I could see myself being a preschool teacher for forever if that's what I needed to do. But I was always willing to climb the ladder to get to the next part. And the next part for me, after I came out of the classroom as a pre-K teacher, was I was the director of education. And then I did the assistant director position. And then I became a director. And now I am a full child care home daycare owner. So I own my own daycare. But there was so many times that I was just like, you know what? I really could do this for a long time. Like, even if nobody paid me, I still could do it, which was crazy to me. But that's how I knew that this was my gift. This was what God had given me. And this is what I needed to water. So when you ask yourself those questions, you got to be real with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. And you have to be connective in your answers to yourself, because it's going to matter. If you don't want to be a preschool teacher forever, what do you want to do? Is it still in childcare, or is it in a different sector? If you can't see yourself getting up for these kids and serving them every single day, what do you want to do? What will make you want to get up and serve? At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself this. And then the last thing is this something you can do for a long time? Can you really do it for a long time? I can do childcare for a long time, clearly. I've been doing it for 21 years now. So I know that this is my jam. I know this is something that I could do. I don't mind doing it. I don't think about, the time spent doing it. I'm just grateful God gives me the opportunity to do it because I don't want to do anything else. So I want you to truly think about it. And if you are finding yourself burned out, if you're tired of the kids, you're tired of, the parents, you don't have the patience for the admin team that you work for, that's good. That's fine because you've now figured it out. So now you need to either decide on whether you want to continue doing this. And if you do, I have a resource for you. I've created a community. I've created what we call the Innovative Teachers Lounge, where you are able to connect with other believers, other teachers, other preschool community, a community that we've created so that you can figure out what is the root of your issue. Is it the classroom management that your students are lacking? Is it you coming to work being your 100% best self? Like, what is it that your children are not getting? And honestly, got to be honest with yourself to know that I'm not giving something. Something is not being given. Or do you even have the mental capacity to give them what it is that they need? Do you have that to offer your kiddos? Because again, got to be honest with yourself. Is is it a you issue or is it a classroom issue? Either way it goes, Innovative Teachers community, we can help you figure out what the problem is. Get in the membership, get the support that you need, because if you are built for it tough and this is your sector, you need support. You need folks behind you pushing you to be your absolute best self. But most importantly, you need a coach. You need someone who has done it, who has been in this sector for a very long time, that could give you that love and that you need to keep you going. Okay, so if y'all hear that noise outside, it is raining out here in Texas where I am, and so that's the thunder that you hear. But I wanted to get on here and I really wanted to tap in with you guys and offer you something, because teacher burnout is a real thing. And as a director, and as a former admin person on the team, I truly realized that I could not service all of my teachers. And I wish as a teacher that there was something that I could tap into that would give me the support that I needed when I was in that classroom. About to pull my hair out. Girl, I don't know what was going on in that room, but my babies were losing it a lot of times, and it's because I needed support. I needed somebody to ground me. I needed somebody to help me through what I couldn't get through on my own, and I have developed a space just for you. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. I am so grateful that you came in, but most importantly, continue to lock in and watch the videos, because they are going to support you in what you need. See you soon.